Ode Salvaje by José Santos Chocano, read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. Forest of my fathers, deity to whom the Incas and the Aztecs bowed, I stand and greet you from the trembling sea, that like some white-haired slave before a queen, with all its shining foam, fawns at your feet. I greet you from the sea above whose combers your heavy perfumes break upon the wind. Behind them tower your mutilated trunks, and beckon me to the Americas. I greet you from the sea that woos you still, like some wild chieftain with dishevelled locks, knowing that deep in your inviolate heart is born the hollow ship that scars its face, and mocks its depths with straining keel and sail. O forest of my fathers, deity to whom the Incas and the Aztecs bowed, I stand and greet you from the shining sea. I turn to you, and feel my soul set free. Behind me lies the stress of modern ways. I have become, for very sight of you, like one of your wise tribal patriarchs, who slept of old upon your tender grass, and drank the milk of goats, and ate their bread sweetened with honey of the forest bee. I look on you, and I am comforted, for the thick ranks of all your tufted trees recall to me how, centuries ago, with twice 10,000 archers at my heels, I led the way whither the mountains smoke, and lift their craters from the shores of lakes, and how at length I wandered to the realm of the great Inca Yupanqui, and went, following him upon the mountain tops, down to Arauco and its peaceful slopes, and rested in a tent of condors' wings. I look on you, and I am comforted, because the centuries have marked me out to be your poet, and to raise the hymns of joy and grief that in heroic dawns the Cusco smote upon his lyre of stone. Legends of Aztec emperors, and songs of bold Palenques and Tehuantisuyos, vanished like Babylon from off this earth. Here in your presence, with your savage spell leaping in all my veins, the centuries lift like a vision from the abyss of time, and pass before me in unfading youth. So I evoke the ages still unformed, that saw your first tree burst its bonds of stone, and all the others headlong on its track, with the ordained disorder of the stars. So I evoke the endless chain of time, of creeping growth and slow monotony, that passed before your roots were fired with sap, and all your trunks took form beneath their bark, and all the knots of every branch were loosed, to join the hymn of your primeval spring. And now your flowering branches are a cage for singing birds, fantastic orchestra, above whose din the fickle mockingbird pours its strange song, and only one is mute, the solemn Quetzal, that in silence flaunts his rainbow plumage with heraldic pomp above the tombs of a departed race. Your countless blue and rosy butterflies flutter and fan themselves coquettishly, your buzzing insects glitter in the sun, glimmer and glow like gems and talismans encrusted in the hilts of ancient swords. Your crickets scold, and when the day is spent, and fireflies light your depths where beasts of prey stalk in the gloom, as through a nightmare gleam the sulphurous pupils of satanic eyes. Yours is the tapir, that in mountain pools mirrors the shape of his deformity, and rends the jungle with his monstrous head. Yours the lithe jaguar, nimble acrobat, that from the branches darts upon his prey, and yours the tiger cat, sly strategist, with gums of plush and alabaster fang. The crocodile is yours, that venerable amphibious guardian of crops and streams, whose emerald eyes peer from the oozy caves, and yours the bower, that seems a mighty arm hewn from the shadow by a giant axe. But like a sponge, into your labyrinth of tropic growth you suck each living thing, the strength of muscles and the blood of veins, there to beget in your exuberance the warlike plumes of your imperial palms, whose milky fruits refreshed in bygone day the tribes grown weary with long pilgrimage. And there the patriarchal sabre tree offered its canopy to pondering chiefs, counselling war or peace beneath its boughs. And there is Pindar's oak, and there the tree of Lebanon, and the mahogany, whose fragrant wood in European courts the cunning craftsman polishes and shapes to thrones of kings and marriage beds of queens. Forest of my fathers, deity, to whom the Incas and the Aztecs bowed, I greet you from the sea, and breathe this prayer, that with the night, the close approaching night, you may entomb me in your sacred dusk, like some dim spectre of forgotten cults, and that, to fire my eyes with savage light, and wild reflection of your revelry, burning upon the tip of every tree that points into the night, you set a star. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.